For millions of people, The Andy Griffith Show was the kind of television that made you feel at home. It showed a small town where everyone knew each other, where life was simple, and where values like honesty, kindness, and friendship stood tall. The show gave comfort to generations of viewers, painting the town of Mayberry as the kind of place people wished they could live in. But behind the cameras, things weren't always as sweet as the stories on screen. Hidden beneath the surface were real human struggles, personality clashes, quiet feuds, and complicated relationships that told a different story than the one fans saw each week. When The Andy Griffith Show first aired on October 3, 1960, no one could have guessed how deeply it would root itself in American culture. It ran for 8 seasons, ending in 1968, and not once did it drop below 7th place in the Nielsen ratings. In fact, it finished its final season ranked number 1, an achievement shared by only a handful of shows in television history. With 249 episodes, it left behind a treasure chest of stories. Many people remember it with a warm heart, often forgetting that behind those peaceful front porches and light-hearted laughs, real tensions were brewing. Tensions that would last for years, even decades. One of the most surprising parts of the show's history is the feud between its two most central characters, Andy Griffith and Frances Bavier. On screen they were family. Andy played the wise, gentle sheriff, and Frances was Aunt Bee, the warm but strong woman who cared for his son, Opie. Off-screen, however, their relationship was far from close. In fact, they barely got along at all. Many fans never knew the truth until long after the show had ended. While viewers imagined the cast as one big happy family, the reality was often much colder. Frances Bavier was extremely private. She valued structure and control, which didn't always mesh well with Andy's relaxed style. Andy Griffith liked to keep things light and friendly on set. He was cheerful and sociable, cracking jokes and chatting with the crew. Frances, on the other hand, was more serious. She preferred her space and took her role very seriously. Some say she came across as distant or even rude, though others saw her as professional and disciplined. This difference in personality led to quiet tension that lasted throughout the entire run of the show. Despite their struggles, they kept it professional while filming. The audience never saw the rift. But behind the smiles, the awkwardness between them never really went away. Even after the cameras stopped rolling and the show wrapped up, the coldness between Griffith and Bavier stayed alive. Years later, Griffith tried to fix things. He once stopped by her house, hoping to clear the air and maybe even find closure. But the surprise visit didn't go well. Frances wasn't pleased. She valued her privacy deeply, and this unexpected moment only added to the discomfort between them. The wound remained open. Still, time has a way of softening people. Toward the end of her life, Frances Bavier made a decision that surprised many. She reached out to Andy. It wasn't a dramatic reunion, but it was honest. She was battling cancer, and in a moment of reflection, she called him. She apologized for her behavior, for the coldness, and even thanked him for what he had done for the show. Andy later said he was touched by her sincerity. For years, there had been distance and silence, but in that phone call, there was also forgiveness. It didn't erase the past, but it brought a sense of peace that had been missing for so long. While that quiet phone call brought an end to one of the show's biggest behind-the-scenes stories, another tale was quietly unfolding during those same years, one that would later grow into a Hollywood success story. At the center of it was Ron Howard, the young boy who played Opie. Born on March 1, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma, Ron came from a showbiz family. His father, Rance Howard, was a writer and actor. His mother, Jean, was an actress. From an early age, Ron was surrounded by cameras, scripts, and the unique rhythm of Hollywood life. Even as a child, Ron Howard showed talent far beyond his years. By age 5, he was already appearing in TV shows like The Twilight Zone and Dennis the Menace. But it was his role as Opie Taylor that made him a household name. With his wide-eyed innocence and natural charm, Ron gave Opie a sense of honesty that connected deeply with audiences. Behind the scenes, he was known for being polite, focused, and smart, rare qualities in a child actor. Andy Griffith often said that Ron was a true professional, even as a little boy. After The Andy Griffith Show ended, Ron didn't fade away like many child stars. Instead, he grew into new roles. In 1974, he became Richie Cunningham on Happy Days, another beloved show that captured the hearts of American viewers. But even then, Ron had bigger dreams. He didn't just want to be in front of the camera. He wanted to tell stories from behind it. While still working as an actor, he began learning the ropes of directing. In 1977, Ron took his first major step as a filmmaker with the movie Grand Theft Auto. He wrote it with his father and directed it himself. Though it was a low-budget project, it showed that Ron had something special to offer. From there, he directed several more projects, slowly building his name as a serious filmmaker. His big break came in 1982 with the comedy Night Shift, followed by the hit movie Splash in 1984. These films proved that Ron Howard wasn't just a former child actor. He was becoming a powerful storyteller in Hollywood. While his career was growing, so was his personal life. Ron Howard's marriage to Cheryl Howard became one of Hollywood's quietest love stories. They met as teenagers and never looked back. In an industry known for quick romances and public breakups, Ron and Cheryl built a lasting relationship rooted in respect and shared values. On June 7, 2025, they celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. A milestone that few couples, Hollywood or not, ever reach. Ron marked the occasion with a photo on the beach, standing side by side with Cheryl at sunset. He said their love had gone through calm days and tough times, but they always kept paddling forward. That simple message said more than any flashy headline could. Back in North Carolina, far from the spotlight, the final chapters of Frances Bavier's and Andy Griffith's lives came to a close. Frances retired from acting in 1972 and moved to Siler City, a small town where she could live quietly. Locals described her as polite but private, still carrying the grace that had defined her on-screen character. She dealt with heart problems and lived a modest life until her death in 1989 at the age of 86. Andy Griffith, too, stepped away from the limelight over time. He settled on Roanoke Island in North Carolina, a place he loved deeply. When he passed away in 2012, also at the age of 86, his family quietly laid him to rest there. The news touched many, as people around the country mourned the loss of a man who had become a symbol of calm strength and gentle wisdom. Even today, fans continue to hold the Andy Griffith Show close to their hearts. Each year, Mount Airy, Griffith's hometown and the real-life inspiration for Mayberry, hosts a festival to celebrate the show. People gather to share memories, visit filming sites, and remember the characters who brought joy into their lives. But while the festival honors the charm and simplicity of the show, it's important to remember that real life is often more complicated. The tensions between Frances Bavier and Andy Griffith remind us that even when things look perfect on the outside, there can be struggle behind the scenes. Their eventual reconciliation shows that understanding and forgiveness are always possible, even after years of silence. Meanwhile, Ron Howard's path from child actor to award-winning director shows how far someone can go with hard work, guidance, and a willingness to keep learning. The Andy Griffith Show gave the world a peaceful picture of small-town life, filled with kindness, humor, and family values. But its real legacy is bigger than just one town or one story. It's about the people who made it, their struggles, their growth, and the ways they touched each other's lives, both on screen and off. Even though Mayberry wasn't a real place, the lessons from its creation are very real. They remind us that even in calm and happy settings, there's always more happening just out of view. And sometimes, the stories we never see are the ones that stay with us the longest. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about the real lives behind your favorite shows, don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and hit that subscribe button so you never miss what's next.